Welcome everybody to a look at a brand new Imprint release, and it's a double feature box set of The Uninvited and The Unseen. Both of these are directed by Lewis Allen, who also did the likes of Suddenly, Appointment with Danger, and A Bullet for Joey. And as per usual, when it comes to the box sets from Imprint, it's really, very nice in terms of the hard box, in terms of the artwork. It's got those on the side. And we've also got a quote from the first film and a shot from the first film as well. So the quote says, "They call them the haunted shores, these stretches of Devonshire and Cornwall and Ireland, which rear up against the westward ocean. Mists gather here, and sea fog and eerie stories." So that kind of, sets the tone for the first film, quite frankly. So, yeah, as usual, pops off the top in really rather nice fashion. And yeah, the first film is The Uninvited from 1944. Got it the right way around eventually. Yeah, so this is a supernatural horror. Clocks in at 99 minutes long. Stars the likes of Ray Milland, who I've seen in 15 other films. The likes of Dial for Murder and The Lost Weekend, as well as The Big Clock, being my favourites from him. Also stars Gail Russell, who also stars in The Unseen. But she was also in the likes of Night Has a Thousand Eyes and Calcutta. And finally, Donald Crisp, who was in the 1935 version of Mutiny on the Bounty, as well as the likes of The Man from Laramie and Ramrod. So a brother and sister move into an old seaside house that has been abandoned for many years on the Cornwallian coast, only soon to discover that it is haunted by the ghost of the mother of their neighbour's granddaughter, with whom the brother has fallen in love. So even though I didn't find this to be particularly scary or overly tense, it wasn't at least an entertaining film throughout. And I could definitely see the influence that this would have on future haunted house films, which is really rather commendable that it set the foundations for such efforts. The lead cast is also great. There are several funny moments. It is overall engrossing. The cinematography is excellent. The special effects still hold up. I like the setting because it's not often that we get on the coast British horror films, especially with an American cast. So yeah, it's really nice in that regard. While the setting itself is nicely done, and the pacing is on point. So yeah, a really rather fantastic film, to be honest. It's my favourite of the two in this box set, for instance. But it's also one of my favourite supernatural horrors from the 40s as well. So yeah, highly recommend it. 4 out of 5 from me. And we get a printed disc as well, with a shot from the film in the behind. And yeah, we get a bunch of extras on the disc itself. So we get a 1080p high definition 2K digital transfer from a 35mm duplicate negative. The quality of the picture and the sound is all fairly solid as well. Audio commentary by noir expert and film noir foundation board member Alan K. Rode from 2024. Then we get The Uninvited and the Female Gothic, a video essay by Kat Ellinger from 2024. Then we get Gail Russell, The Flame That Burned Twice as Bright, interview with critic Imogen Sarah Smith from 2024. Then we get 2 original radio adaptations starring Ray Milland, Lady Astor Screen Guild play with Ruth Hussey and Betty Field from 1944, and Screen Directors Playhouse with director Lewis Allen from 1949, and the theatrical trailer. All nicely done there. So yeah, and second but not last, least but not last, last but not least even, from 1945 we have The Unseen. So unlike the first film, which is supernatural horror, this is a film noir mystery film that has certain elements of horror in there, but it's the main focus is film noir and the mystery element. So yeah, this clocks in at 80 minutes long, so significantly shorter than the previous film. Stars Joel McCrea, who was in the likes of, well, 6 other films that I've seen, but my favourites from him are the likes of Sullivan's Travels, The Most Dangerous Game, Ride the High Country, and Dead End. And it also stars Herbert Marshall, who I've seen again in 6 other films. He was in the 1958 version of The Fly, as well as Blonde Venus, The Letter, and The List of Adrian Messenger. So David Fielding, who has recently lost his wife, moves into a new neighbourhood under a cloud of suspicion. Many feel that his wife's death in a car crash was no accident. Elizabeth Howard, the governess he hires to look after his children, makes it her mission to find out the truth. When other murders seem to be following David to this new town, Elizabeth investigates with the help of David's son, Barnaby. So this starts out in excellent fashion with effective tension, spot on cinematography with really rather nice use of shadows at one point, and a solid amount of intrigue. Unfortunately, the rest of this does somewhat lose steam after that initial opening, but thanks to the fact that this doesn't outstay its welcome and the cast is good, it does at least manage to be engrossing. The finale also does pick back up most of the effectiveness of that opening. The character interactions are well executed, the setting is nicely used, and the reveal is enjoyably done. But yeah, definitely a lesser film in comparison to The Uninvited. The main draw with this is definitely going to be The Uninvited, but this is by no means a bad film. It's just nowhere near as good, and therefore it gets 3 out of 5. So yeah, but still, all the positives of the previous disc are here. Printed disc, shot from the film in the back. Unfortunately, the extras, although the extras are fine themselves, it's the transfer that is a major issue with this. So it says it has a 1080p high definition presentation of a 2K scan from the original camera negative by Imprint Films themselves, but the quality of the picture isn't particularly great. There's a lot of grain, well, I say grain, a lot of lines down on it, a lot of flickering, and then the sound, that is the worst part of it by far. It's not constant, but there are at least 4, maybe 5 instances of the sound getting extremely loud really suddenly and then just dropping out and then going back to normal again, and it's just really, really rather jarring. And yeah, it does not make for a an enjoyable experience to have a sudden loud noise like that happen. And I know it might well be down to the fact that the film print itself wasn't particularly in good quality, but you'd at least try and lower that sound part, the sound parts that are suddenly peaking and suddenly getting really rather loud. So yeah, nowhere near as good a quality in terms of the film print as The Uninvited, unfortunately, which is a shame because, like I said, the film is mostly enjoyable. But you also get audio commentary by noir expert and film noir foundation board member Alan K. Road again from 2024 on this, just like we did with the previous one. And then we also get gothic noir, the unseen touch of Henry James, video essay by Imogen Sarah Smith and Max Every from 2024. So, yeah, not sure who Henry James is, but I'm sure he's obviously had enough of a significant involvement in this to warrant a video essay. So yeah, I'll definitely look into him in the future. But yeah, overall, this is a solid enough box set. It's a nice couple of films that I've never had before. I had seen The Uninvited before getting this box set, so I knew what I was getting in for that, and that was the main reason, like I said, to buying this. So The Unseen was basically an extra in some regards. So yeah, for being a kind of an extra, 3 out of 5 is not bad. And like I said, it doesn't outstay its welcome, only 80 minutes. So yeah, a nice little box set. This it's nothing spectacular, and it's probably not a couple of films that most people will want to see or have seen before. But yeah, if you are into your 1940s kind of mystery, spooky horror film kind of films, then yeah, this will be right up your alley. And yeah, I really rather enjoyed both of them. So yeah, nonetheless, so if you have seen either of these films before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on them. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.